Campus is full of election fever tonight. I'm Jonathan O'Mahan.
And I'm Lauren Starocki. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of MUTV News. After a whirlwind of election fury and no primary elections in early March, two candidates have had an entire month to campaign. Both Megan Ledwig and Emile Oligele believe they have what it takes to make the biggest impact in the Marquette community.
We have both of the candidates here tonight to talk about their platforms and the changes they wish to see happen across campus. Plus, we'll continue to give you up-to-date results as the night progresses. It's been a busy term for the 2009-2010 MUSG leaders. Katie Roush caught up with current president Henry Thomas to discuss his thoughts on the academic year's political highlights. Diplomatic unrest is brewing this evening in South America. The allied nations of Venezuela and Ecuador are amassing troops at their country's borders with rival Colombia. The standoff comes as the Organization of American States convened for an emergency meeting in response to this crisis. The United States has supported the government of Colombia and its resistance of Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez. The European Union has rejected the recent power grab by the President of Zimbabwe. President Robert Mugabe is attempting to control ministries of government not under his authority. A number of departments like Home and Foreign Affairs and Defense have been affected. The EU is continuing to enforce sanctions on the nation until changes are made. The union blacklisted 172 people connected to Mugabe's government, as well as 4 companies that supported him. All of the people on the list may be banned from traveling anywhere. Today marked the end of an era for Green Bay fans around the country. I'm Jonathan O'Mahan.
And I'm Richie Donnelly. The Packers announced this morning that legendary quarterback Brett Favre is retiring.
Thanks, Ryan and Donnie. I am currently here in the AMU, where students are gathering to take part in the second Father Wilde Forum of the academic school year. Students are gathering to ask questions of Father Robert Wilde, as well as Senior Vice President of the University, Greg Klebon, and Provost Dr. John Pauley. Among the topics likely to be discussed tonight are the role of campus organizations here at Marquette, as well as student safety, and the search for Father Wilde's successor as he retires. We caught up with some students to get their thoughts on the evening's events.
I think the Father Wilde Forum is a really great opportunity for students to see administration in a format that's more casual, that they can ask questions, kind of find out concerns that they have about what's going on campus. You don't get an opportunity to address your administration one-on-one in a lot of opportunities, and this is a chance to bring up concerns that students have that they may not know where else to direct them. So I think it's a great opportunity to get to know our administration as well as address concerns that we have on campus.
It's obvious to see students are excited to meet with Father Wilde and ask him questions. As mentioned, this will be one of his last forums, as he is set to retire at the end of the 2010-2011 academic school year. Reporting here at the AMU for MUTV News, I'm Jonathan O'Mahan. Back to you guys at the desk. More than 1,000 people showed up in Madison to hear the 7-time Tour de France champion Lance Armstrong urge the legislature to vote on a statewide smoking ban. Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle also supports the bill and urged lawmakers to pass it into law. So far, the bill is being stopped in the state Senate and Assembly by the powerful Tavern League lobby. The hot topic of same-sex marriage is not going far in Iowa. Iowa House Minority Leader Chris Rance failed at his attempt to force a debate about same-sex marriage in Iowa's Congress. He tried to use a rare rule that would require the entire House to vote on the subject. The House rejected the move, so in Iowa, same-sex marriage will continue to be defined as a marriage between a man and a woman. Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich claims someone in his administration has made $1 million mistake. A historic black Chicago church that was gutted by a fire in 2006 was supposed to receive $1 million. Instead, the money went to a private school that rented the space at the church. Randy Bellisomo takes a look at what the governor plans to do to fix the mistake. The stocks are mostly in the red today. The Dow dropped 45 points, the NASDAQ rose almost 2 points, and the S&P dropped about 4.5 points. A politician thinks of the next election. A statesman thinks of the next generation. These words by author James Freeman Clarke show a glimpse into how the candidates for MUSG Senator hope to influence future students. Today, Marquette students had the chance to vote for 2 senators at Pacific Marquette College of Study. The most heated race is taking place in the College of Communications, where 4 candidates are vying for the positions. Candidate Mike Perrano shared his thoughts on improved representation.
I think that communication can always be improved, and that with talking with the student council and with the students of the communication school, we can better communicate to the leaders of MUSG.
Another key topic on campus is the use of government money for school clubs and organizations.
I think next year, no matter who's elected, is definitely going to put a priority on spending more money, but it also helps that the College of Communications and these student councils and student organizations know people that are in MUSG, where they can be like, hey, I need help with the SOA, can you help me fill out the form?
The rise in school-related robberies has also been a major campaign platform. Incumbent Senator Paige Jorgensen shares the DPS reports and how they can inform students better.
One thing I'm really trying to push is that there's these things called the morning reports, which DPS publishes every single day, 365 days out of the year, which tells about everything that's happened, any calls that they've gotten, you know, whether it's a drunk kid or whether it's a robbery. And they're published, and you can walk in there and see that, but not everyone knows that they're available. So one thing I'd really like to see is that those get well communicated.
In the end, the students will have the final say on which candidates are selected. Reporting for MUTV News, I'm Jonathan O'Mahan. 8 teenagers in northern Wisconsin have pleaded guilty to school vandalism. The charged teens were a part of a group that used items such as spray paint and weed killer to destroy property. And we have a very, very, very close race. Too close to call, in fact. Right now, our numbers are showing this is pretty much a 50-50 split. Ray and Kathleen coming in with 50.5% of the vote, as opposed to Giuseppe and Billy with 49.5% of the vote. Again, we are not going to be able to call this. This is going down to the wire, and we should find out the results tomorrow around 2 o'clock. That's what the school is saying. 2 o'clock, the official results are going to be released. That's all we have right now. Let's send it back to the desk. Packer fans will no longer see Brett Favre suit up every game day after today's announced retirement. This very upsetting news has brought along an added incentive for eBay to sell authentic Packers merchandise. Not only is Packers merchandise being bought online, the items are also being purchased in small memorabilia stores. The Better Business Bureau is warning fans to be on the lookout for non-authentic merchandise. Consumers should also watch out for fake autographs and make sure to ask about the product's authenticity. An ABC News helicopter has crashed in Texas. Houston's ABC affiliate KTRK lost 2 of its employees after the helicopter went down just north of the metro area. The pilot and the photographer were reporting on the scene of a police shooting when the crash took place. Both of the men died when the chopper went down in a state forest near the city of Conroe. The FAA and NTSB have sent investigators to the scene in hopes of finding the cause of the crash. Information about the victims of yesterday's Wendy's shooting is starting to filter in. The man killed was firefighter Rafael Vasquez. He was enjoying his lunch break with his child when the violence broke out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Vasquez was attempting to exchange a kid's meal toy when the killer shot him straight in the back. Thanks, Erica. Right now we are going back to Donnie Dwyer for another update on tonight's exit polling data. Donnie, what can you tell us?
In other campus news, Pi Beta Phi and Sigma Chi fired up the barbecue this evening for their Bags and Brats tournament at Schrader Field. Over 150 people were expected to attend the event that makes food and friendly competition. Each team that entered paid $10 for an all-you-can-eat barbecue and the chance to win first place in the Bags tournament. The barbecue was also open for those only wishing to eat for a minimal $5 charge. Before the competition began, everyone enjoyed their fresh grilled brats alongside the fire.
Investigators in Kenosha are looking to end a 5-year mystery. Officials will be digging up the body of a man possibly linked to the disappearance of a 23-year-old woman. Becky Marzo, a Milwaukee resident, vanished 5 years ago this December. Investigators have cause to believe that the body of Carl A. Rogers may shed light on the mystery. Rogers is thought to be connected with Marzo's death. Rogers committed suicide last year, and police are looking for any DNA evidence that may close the case.